Hi guys, welcome back to Python versus YouTube channel where curiosity meets the code. Today we'll be discussing different types of sorting mechanisms using an algorithm and also animation so that you'll have a clear idea of all the types of sorting methods. But before that, we'll be checking the packages pre-installed in my system. So the first command that I'm going to execute in command prompt is pip list, where you can see all the packages with the versions so it can give a look about what package is what version and update it accordingly. So you can take a look onto your packages. If not installed, please do install it. You can just Google how to install and there will be a command for that to execute in command prompt. Another command to check for all these is pip freeze, which gives a similar output where packages with the version will be mentioned. So let's get started with the program. I'll be showing all the different kinds of sorting methods also. So firstly, we are importing few libraries required, which includes Tkinter, random and time. As of all of you are aware of by now, Tkinter is for GUI, random is for generating random numbers, and the time is for introducing delays during sorting to visualize the process. Moving on, we have a function for generating random array. We have a function to draw the bars representing the array elements, and also we have a function to perform bubble sort. And the next function is to perform selection sort. And the next one is to perform the insertion sort. And the last is to function to starting the algorithm. And the later part of the code is to create the main window related to GUI and what should be the height and weight of the GUI window, height and width of the GUI window, what kind of a window it should be. Then we have array size selection, how much of an array should be sorted. For the next part, and for the next part, we have delay, how much time delay should be there between each sorting system. And the next part will be sorting algorithm section. And then we have start the sorting algorithm and mainly to start the loop. Let's go one by one. The first function to generate a random array. Here you can see that it defines a function of generate array that generates a random array of specified size. It uses random.sample to ensure the unique elements within the array. So let's move on to the next, which is to function the drawbars array elements respectively. Here what happens is it defines a function called drawbars to draw bars on the canvas representing the array element. It calculates the position and size of each bar based on the canvas dimension and array data. So here basically it defines like what should be the height and weight of the each bar which is represented as a data point. Moving on to the next function. So the next function is to perform bubble sort. Now you should know what is bubble sort. So basically bubble sort, it iterates through the entire array comparing adjacent element and swapping them if they are wrong order. After each swap, it updates the visualization and introduces a delay to visualize the sorting process. So basically, it compares like the first two elements if they are in correct row or not, and then the next two elements and the next two elements, and eventually we will have a sorted array. And the same thing we have done using a for and if loop. Going on to the next type of sort function. which is the selection sort. Now, how does a selection sort work? So here it iterates through the array, finding the minimum elements from the unsorted portion and swapping it with the first unsorted element. It updates the visualization, it introduces a delay after each iteration. So from the entire array, it finds the least one and swaps it with the first position. And the next, it will find again the least one and swaps it to the second position. So initially, we'll have a list of arrays which is arranged in smaller to the highest values. The same thing we have done using a for and if loop, but the process is different than a bubble sort. So let's move on to the next kind of sorting method, which is the insertion sort. Now, how does insertion sort take place? So it iterates through the array, shifting the elements greater than the current element to the right and inserting the current element into its current position. It updates the visualization and introduces a delay after each iteration. So this is more of opposite of what we have done. Usually we used to swap the element for the lowest. Here it swaps the element for the highest array element. So if the element is greater than the current element to the right side and inserting the current element into the correct position. So eventually you have a sorted array if you follow like this. And we have for now we have I've given only three types, but there are more types of sorting arrangements which you can add in the program. So the next function is to define start sorting algorithm. So here what happens is first of all it defines a function of start sorting to initiate the starting process. It generates a new random array based on the selected size, visualize the initial state, and calls the appropriate sorting function based on the selected algorithm. So this puts together all the three of the selection process, and based on that, it will call the function. So if I click on bubble sort, the bubble sort function is called selection sort function is called, and insertion sort function is called, and it even starts the sorting process. Coming down to create the main window. So here root is equal to tk.tk is creates the main window and a title of sorting algorithm visualizer is given. Now, since we are creating data points as a bar graph, we need to create a canvas for that bar. So here we're giving the width, the height, and the scale for the bars, which is going to be updating for every sort method. And also here we are given the color as white, and I also added a padding of 20 each. Coming on to the next part of array selections. So here we have given creates a slider which is size slider for selecting the size of the array. It defaults to 50 and ranges from 10 to 100. So by default, if the array sorting is 50, we can give a range of up to 10 to 100. It depends upon what number of data points we are required. Coming down to the delay part of the program, it creates a delay slider for selecting the delay time between the iteration of sorting algorithms. It ranges from 0.01 to zero point 0.5 with a resolution of 0.01. We have also provided information of how much delay does it required for to sort the program or eventually between two sorts. Coming down to sorting algorithm selection part, here it creates a drop-down menu for selecting the sorting algorithm. It includes option for bubble sort, selection sort, and insertion sort. So the lastly a start sort button is initialized where the sorting process starts and the root main loop to start the loop of the sorting process. And let's quickly see the output of the program. So I'm going where the program is, copying the name of the .py file, opening command prompt, Python space file name dot py. So you can see a sorting window appears and array appears. So you can set the array up to default is 50 and you can let that be delete time also we can set up to zero point 0 and if you go down you have a scroll down button of bubble sort, selection sort and all those and you have a start sorting button. So you can see how each algorithm of sorting works. So here bubble sort first it identifies the highest among the entire loop and puts it to the position right next to that. Similarly, there are other processes also. So it's sorted. So again, you can try that with selection sort. So you can see selection sort is a much easier method. And then we'll just go with the insertion sort and we'll give a delay of 50 and we'll give so here. You can just play with them and understand how they work. Now we'll see how about insertion sort. First the smaller one will be categorized moving forward. Thank you so much for watching. If you have learned something from this video, please do consider hitting that like, share, and subscribe button. Thank you so much.